All right, another make it make sense. All right, man, let's just get down to brass tacks. What is it that you guys that are mad at Deion, a.k.a. Coach Prime, whatever you want to call him, why are you guys so mad? I'm just trying to figure out why people are so mad at him, the University of Colorado, the bandwagon fans of Colorado. Why are so many people upset? Now, first, let's attack the tiny elephant in the room, we should say, because we know that there are a certain amount of people in this world that aren't going to like Deion just because he's black, okay? Anybody with a brain cell is going to know that. But let's eliminate those idiots from this conversation because we know they exist. But for this conversation, we're not going to talk about them. So next, let's just kind of try to dive in to what I've heard over the last month or so, why people can't stand Deion right now. One thing is people say, well, he's always on TV. It's always about him. Okay, I understand that, but he's trying to build a program. He's building it a different way than what we've seen it done before. Now, I get that change, and people don't like change necessarily. People don't like things done differently, but he's building a program that was horrific. Let's just call it that. It was horrific. He's just doing it a different way. And there's a lot of you out there that like things to be different. Like when things get shook up. But some of you are the same people that are saying, no, I don't understand why he's doing it, why it's all about him. Hey, man, stop being hypocrites. He's making it about him because he's got to build a program. He has nothing to stand on there yet. They don't have a record. They didn't have anything. He's got to make it about something. And until he can make it about them winning, he had to make it about him. Which brings me to the next point that they haven't won anything. They haven't beaten anybody, which I 100% agree. They haven't beaten anybody. But is that his fault? I mean, is that Colorado's fault? Is that Colorado fan fault? Is it the bandwagon jumpers' fault? Is it any of those people's fault that they haven't beaten anybody? I don't believe it is. No, not at all. Look, they didn't rank themselves. Deion isn't in charge of the AP poll or the coaches poll. He didn't have anything to do with that. So why are we mad at him because they got ranked? That's not his fault. I mean, and I know there's people out there, he needs to be humble. Why? He hasn't ever been humble. And it's worked out just fine for him. So why does he have to be humble now? I mean, can somebody just explain why? Don't tell me just because that's what you want. Why does he have to be humble? Why can't he continue to be himself and build his program the way he wants to do it? If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Okay. But it looks like it is working. And lastly, people are so mad at all these bandwagon fans that have jumped on board. I had somebody actually tell me that it was bad for the culture of college football because people like myself that have jumped on board and want to see him win, that I'm somehow, or all of us are somehow bad for the culture of college football. I mean, make it make sense, people. I've had one question for all those people that are so mad at the bandwagon fans, and nobody has been able to answer that question. All they do is try to insult me and get mad and, play the internet tough guy role, yada, yada, yada. All I ask is, why do you care? Why do you care that people want to see him succeed? Why is that a bad thing? All I'm saying is this. If it doesn't work, and we're not going to know whether after 1 year, whether it works, because at the beginning of this season, and anybody that's being honest knows it, if we'd have said that if Colorado won 5 games this year, they said it would have been a success. Well, now that they started 3-1, now people are saying, well, if they don't win 8 or 9 games, see, I told you it didn't work. The nonsense. Come on, people, stop it. Look, I know. Everybody is just tired of seeing him everywhere. That's the gig. Everybody's upset. They see him everywhere. But keep this in mind. Deion's not in charge of the media. He doesn't own TV stations. He doesn't own Fox or CBS. He doesn't own any of those. So why are you mad at him? Because they chose to put him on their television screens. How is that his fault? Look, if people would just relax, Colorado is going to lose more football games. More than likely, they're going to get their head beaten in again this weekend. The story will die down. It will die down. Now, it's not going to go to nothing because, look, it's still Deion Sanders. He's not going to allow it to go to nothing. But it'll die down. When they lose 4, 5, 6 games, maybe even 7 games, the story will die down. My whole thing is, why are we rooting against him? I just don't understand it, why you're rooting against him. If you were like the rival of Colorado, which who the hell is? What, Nebraska, Colorado State? Okay, fine. But it's so many more people out there that are rooting against what he's doing. I don't get it. And yes, there's bandwagon fans all over the place. But you know what? Bandwagon fans didn't just start with Deion Sanders at Colorado. So stop the nonsense. All I'm trying to figure out, and I'll ask it again, why do you care? Somebody out there, anybody, please make it make sense.